Hey all, Board Game Rants here, where you'll find everything solo, tabletop gaming, and more. It's a little late, I know. I apologize. What I've been playing for the first month of the year and what I thought about, it's all coming up pronto. So here we are, well into February, and I'm just finally getting to what I played in January, but I'm going to do this a little differently. Going to move through a little quicker here, because for both the disappointment of the month and the MVP of the month, I've done full reviews for. So when I get to those, I'm just going to, if you don't mind, boop, pop them up there so that you can just hit that boop button, and it's going to add another chunk of time to really hear in depth what I thought about these games. But I kind of wanted to do it this way. I don't know if I'm going to do this more often. We'll see how it works out, but let's get into what I played last month. And I hope you had a good one. I hope it was a good first month for you, breaking in the new decade of gaming. And I got a total of 44 plays in over 9 different games. And I kind of wrapped up last year. I played another game of Dungeon Degenerates. Talked about that before. Actually, in the best of, you might want to check that out too, because I talked about Street Masters. Got one game of that in. Not going to talk much about those other than they're fantastic solo games. Went over to a friend's house and played some Blockus. It's not a solo game, but I'm pretty much sure everybody's heard of Blockus, and it's fun. It was but it was interesting because I've been waiting for the Isle of Cats, and I played this, and it was like, oh wow, there are other polyomino games out there that, and this was like one of the originals, right? So anyway, I played that a couple times, got my ass kicked both times. Aeon's End. So I played this more and another 3 times solo. Actually, this is the first time I played it solo, and now I'm getting a sense of why people really dig this game. And I've since played it here in February a couple times solo, and it's fantastic. Or was it? Anyway, I played it solo here, maybe just one time here in February, but. Yes, that game has, there's just something to it. It's a bit to set up, and that's, again, what I'm not liking about just some of these deck builder games. It's just, I'm just tired of setting up decks, and I have no patience for deck building setup anymore. I don't know why that is, but tell you what, once it's set up, you can go through it again. You're going after this nemesis, and you are trying to take this thing down, and if you don't do it the first time, it's pretty brutal. The way the solo is set up. If you're just playing one mage instead of teaming up with 2 against the nemesis, it's hard. It's tough, and it took 3 times for me to finally beat the thing. Excellent game. Aeon's End. Star Trek Frontiers. I've been wanting to play this for a while, and I got a kick-ass deal on it on a scratch and dent thing. I knew it was Mage Knight reskinned over to this Star Trek theme. And I'm not a big Trekkie fan, but the new Star Trek show started last month, and Picard, I think is what it's called, and so it was kind of interesting, the timing and stuff. So I picked up this game, and sure enough, it is. It's. I hadn't played Mage Knight in a long time, and so reading this though, it all kind of came to, and ultimately the game is way easier. It's just way easier. The way it's done, things are streamlined, and just it's easier to get experience. It's easier. To get to the guys that you need to take down. You don't have to move on to their space. You can just be adjacent to the space. And that simple little rule right there just changes everything. It's just so much. You have extra card guaranteed every time to help you take down these enemies. And so the game was it was too easy in my opinion. And but then I threw in the con expansion. And I played this in total 6 times, Star Trek Frontiers, and I enjoyed it. I loved it. But all it did was remind me of Mage Knight. All it did was make me want to pull Mage Knight off of my shelf, and I did. Took Mage Knight off the shelf, put Star Trek Frontiers, away, probably for good. Just Mage Knight is just thematically, it's more to my liking, and it's just way harder from the get-go. And it just appeals to me pretty much on every single level. There's some fun things about Star Trek Frontiers that I almost kind of maybe would adopt and plug into Mage Knight just to change the leveling. If I feel like I want to tackle bigger cities or something, then or Volcare. So Volcare expansion for Mage Knight is what the con expansion was for Star Trek Frontiers. It kind of gives you an opponent instead of a timer. You have, well, it's still a timer. You feel under the pressure with playing solo, but there's like an opponent you're trying to take down rather than just finding a couple cities and taking them down before the end of the 6th round or the 4th round or whatever. And so with Mage Knight, I got to playing that again. Played it 5 times and did not want to put it away, quite frankly. It's I hadn't played it in some years, and it just, all it did was remind me why I love playing games solo so much. It's just the one. Anyway, so Mage Knight 5 times. Then played Dawn of the Zeds, got 10 plays of that in, and that's something I've been wanting to pick up for a while. It is highly touted in the solo community, and I'm trying to kind of go through that list of the top 100 in the one-player guild at Board Game Geek and play all those games, and this was one of them, and this is one that I thought I was going to really like. I'd seen it played. It's older. It's in its 3rd edition, and so I picked it up, got 10 plays of that in, and it's just fantastic. I loved it. I did a playthrough of it because it just sort of, I just wanted to, and I loved getting I just enjoy getting destroyed by that game. And so I really liked how it kind of ramped up. You can take it in bite-sized chunks, even though, I was really tempted to just throw it all in there and do it all. I did it in the bite-sized chunks where you can play, a basic game and then the next level up and the next, I think there's like 5 or 6 of those that just kind of keeps adding some cards, keeps adding layers of complexity. Very well done. And I enjoyed the whole process of going through it. I mean, each game left me just excited that, oh my gosh, there's going to be more that I get to add to this game and see what it does. And which is just kill me mercilessly. But just that it was done differently. This zombie sort of game where you're just in town and they're just coming from all directions and you're going out there and trying to slow them down. You're just trying to slow them down. This isn't like, we're going to beat them all back. No, you are just trying to get through this deck of cards that represent, if you can make it, you make it. If you don't, well, you die. And they usually come in and if they get into your town, essentially, Farmingdale, I think it was called, then you're dead. You die. And that's what typically happens. But they can come out of the catacombs, or they can come out of the mountains, or they can come down the highway, and you got to send your guys out. You're going to have a different random set of heroes that you get, and then different civilians that can go out, and some can do certain things, and some can do, they got their little powers. You can run around with a dog. There's a chimpanzee or whatever, that can help you. That was like, there's stories behind all these. Like, chimpanzee is immune to being able to get infected, but everybody else can get infected. So whenever you make contact, you have to move up your infection track, and all these things. Very cleverly done. Really enjoyed that. It was really close to being the MVP, but that goes to a different title coming up. The Disappointments. So the Disappointment, that was On Mars. At the time, I played it 5 times. This month already played a few more times. And then I did a full review on this. So check that out. I'm going to pop it up there now. Check it out. It's I'll explain, about the game again, and then I'll tell you everything I thought about that. Because that's a highly touted game. And ultimately, I guess I will say, it's just, I was expecting some things out of it. The biggest surprise for me was that it was not as heavy as, I was expecting. It was at like a 4.57 or something, which is up there. And I had just gotten off of Mage Knight. And I was like, it was very easy for me to compare these two things that were supposedly the same weight. No. I guess you have to figure out what the definition of weight is. But no. On Mars is a heavy game. Ain't nowhere near Mage Knight. So, for me. Anyway, so that was that. On to the MVP. The MVP was the Isle of Cats. So, that I did a full review for. And I will say Frank West knocked it out of the park. Same guy that designed the City of Kings, and I'll let you check that out. That was a much lighter game, lighter than I thought. So I had On Mars coming in. I thought it was going to be heavier, and then I also too thought that the Isle of Cats was going to be a lot heavier. It wasn't. but oh man, just check out the review. It was great. It was great. I love that. I played that. At that point, I played it 10 times. So what am I excited about coming up here? Well, I tell you what, there are some big things I want to mention. Some big kudos. First of all, on Mars, I had bought early December, and a month later it still hadn't come. I thought I was going to get a better deal. I had bought it on the Game Steward, so I went and I was like, I cancel the order. I think I'm going to go. No questions asked. They just did. They just refunded my money, and then I couldn't get the deal I thought I was, so I had to kind of go back to them, and they were like, no problem. We'll get it to you. And I was like, hey, now I have this gift card. Can I put some on this and some on that? They were like, no problem. And they got back to me quickly. These guys were great to work with. And then like the next day, the game was being shipped. The Game Steward, that's top-notch service. I would check those guys out if you're looking for Kickstarter games after the Kickstarter's done. I think that's kind of their thing, is they get games and they offer them at very reasonable costs. It was free shipping. So yeah, amazing, amazing service there. Another group that I want to give a shout out to, Awakened Realms. I blew it and ordered Tainted Grail incorrectly. Thought I was going to get it early, didn't come early. I'm emailing them. I'm like, why didn't this come? Why haven't everybody's getting it? And they said, well, because you said one-wave shipping, and so you're going to get both the stuff. And I was like, I just ordered the base game. And they said, well, you're going to get all the Kickstarter goodies, so it's going to come to you later this year. And I was like, And then I pulled out the ace out of my sleeve, and I said, you know who I freaking am? Board Game Rants, y'all. You better give me my shit. And they were like, whoa, Board Game Rants? Why didn't you say so? Why, yes, sir. We're going to split your order right up, and we're going to get you your game pronto. That's not how it went at all. Pretty sure they don't know who I am, and if they did, probably wouldn't give a shit. Anyway, but the other part was true. I explained, God, this is my bad. I'm an idiot. And they offered to split my order up. And I know it's part of why they do is to save on shipping, for us to save on shipping. But anyway, the PR guy went in and split up my order, and I have it. I have Tainted Grail. They sent it to me. They were like, we'll get it to you. And I was just like, what? And I have the game. I'm playing it now. Man, more information on that to come. But thank you to Awakened Realm. I'm just having some great experiences with these companies and Kickstarters, because and when you watch my video on Isle of Cats, and I think I mentioned this earlier, that came 2 or 3 months early. So man, woo! These people are knocking it out of the park. Awakened Realms, Game Steward, City of Games. Thank you all for such just amazing experiences just in getting the games, and you've made it a pleasure. So, other games I got coming up, Barrage. Barrage is very intriguing. I've been reading through the rules, and it looks like right up my alley. And I heard a lot of people didn't like the parts and the pieces and the little water droplets and stuff, but I apparently got the version that has the wooden pieces, because I already opened it up. It's one thing I'm probably going to start doing to change up the channel a little bit. I don't know that I'm going to do so many unboxing thing. I thought, for a while, I thought, the industry is kind of flooded with reviewers, but it's not flooded with solo tabletop gaming reviewers. And the ones that kind of tackle it, they kind of do both. They're kind of like, sort of, I'll comment on this too, or some of them are playing it solo, but they are not like, that's not like what they do. And so I think I can offer a point of view from playing solo games, making up shit 2 decades ago, to where now, it's becoming a mainstream thing, and I got a lot to say on it, and I think I can speak with some authority there. Anyway, so I think I'm going to focus on that with the channel this year. Is kind of doing less videos on miscellaneous stuff. I want to kind of zero in and get more focused, and also to shorten the time. So I'm going to wrap this thing up, okay? Because I want all my videos to be 20 minutes or less, and to be respectful of people's time. You have so many choices, and I want to make sure that you're getting only what you need from here, nothing more, nothing less, and I'm not taking up unnecessary time so you can get back and get playing your games, right? Yes. So, until next time, I so much appreciate you watching. Thank you. If you're new to the channel, this is something I do each month, and I'm looking forward to maybe seeing some comments and questions and stuff down below. Let me know anything gaming, any questions, what you've been up to, and I'll chat at you. I always respond to everything, you know, that I see, and I think I see all. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Board Gamer, and I'm out.